In this problem, we have a system of equations. So here are two equations for lines, and we're being asked if each of these points, these ordered pairs, is a solution to this system. What that means is that this -1 for x and this -11 for y would need to solve or satisfy both of these equations. One way to do this is just to plug them in, take this x value and this y value, put them into the equation and see if it comes out. If I were substituting -1 for x here, I'd get -7 and then a -4. And substituting the -11 for y, I'd get -11 equals -7 minus 4. Well, that is -11, so I'd get -11 equals -11, and that is true. So that means this point satisfies the first equation. To satisfy the solution, it needs to satisfy the second equation too. So we need to do that again. Plug in -1 for x. So -1 times -14, that'd be a +14. -11 times 2y would be -22. And that would equal -8. Let's see, 14 minus 22. That is -8. So we get -8 equals -8. So that one satisfies that equation as well. So we can say it satisfies the solution. If you were to get some result here where it said like 5 equals -8, that's clearly not true. That means the point is not a solution for that equation, and you'd check no. So that's the method, or at least one method. We've got three more points to do here, which is a fair amount of just routine calculation. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you a way you could use a common tool you probably have hanging out on your computer to solve problems like this. And you might decide once you know how to do it that it's a little bit easier and quicker. It's also going to be a method that's going to make sure you don't make silly mistakes. Well, hopefully. What I'm talking about is using a spreadsheet. And what I've done here is just open up a Google spreadsheet, but you could use Excel or some other type of spreadsheet that you might have available to you. And just for convenience, I've pasted in the copy of the problem here. And what I want to do is set up a spreadsheet where we can plug in an x and a y value. So I'm just going to type in x and y here, and then we'll I know how to put borders on here. So I'm just going to put these in borders. So those are our two input fields. Okay, that's where I'm going to put in the x value and the y value. And then what we want to do is calculate them and make the computer do all the calculations. Our first equation here says y equals 7x minus 4. So I'm just going to put y and then equals and then 7x minus 4 here. I'm going to show you how to do that. Y is this value in this cell right here, or will be. So what I do, I'm going to use formulas. The way to start a formula in a spreadsheet is to type equals. And then if you want the value in another cell, you just click that cell. You can see here it says this equals cell B2, and that's the cell there. That's all I really need there. I just need the Y. So I'm going to hit enter. Now if I put in a 1 here, I get a 1 show up there. If I put in a 100 here, I get a 100 that shows up there. So that's working. Now here, equals, I can't just type an equals symbol because that's how to start a formula. So I'm just going to write the word equals. And now I'm going to put in this second part of the formula. This is 7x minus 4. So you have to remember that this is 7 times x and then minus 4. We can type all of that into the formula. I'm going to type a 7, and then it's the asterisk for the times symbol. And then I want x, which is over here. So I click on that cell. Oops, I forgot the equals sign. So let's try that again. Equals, and then 7 times this cell right here, A2, and then minus 4. And I'm going to hit enter. So let's see what happens when we put in this first point, -1, -11. I'm going to put in a -1 here and a -11. Oops, -11. And what I get is -11 equals -11. That's what we found out when we did this calculation right here. Now, the nice part about this is that I can just type in the rest of these numbers without having to calculate that again. Now, we've got one more equation to do here. I think I'll do that one right here. So this is 14x plus 2y on one side. I'm just going to put in my equals here. So 14x would be my equal sign, and then 14 times x and then a plus 2 times y, and then we're going to have -8 over here. Now it looks like maybe I got a sign wrong. Let me double check what I've. Oh yeah, I put in a 14 instead of a -14. It's good that we did one first so I can double check. And here we got -8 equals -8, and that is exactly what we got here when we calculated it by hand. Now that might seem like a fair amount of work, but once I've done that amount of work, I can start plugging in these other values. So let's plug in a 3 and a 17. And I've got -11, sorry, 17 equals 17, and -8 equals -8. All right, let's plug in a 0 and a 4. This time I've got 4 equals -4 and 8 equals -8. So this one doesn't work. And let's plug in the -2 and the 5. And there I've got 5 equals -18 and 38 equals -8. So the last two don't work and the first two do. Let me just check that second one again just to double check. Yep, that looks good. All right. So we can finish our answers here. This one worked, but these two don't. So that's how to check whether something is a solution to a system of linear equations, and a method to use a spreadsheet to maybe make it a little easier for you.